Welcome to our channel eCommerce Know-How. We are amidst a world war, and the situation is bound to affect us somehow or the other. But imagine the impact it would have on the large corporations out there. So in this video, we will talk about the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war on the e-commerce industry. Let's begin. Russians are fleeing in massive numbers as a result of Western sanctions, with the world's attention diverting towards Eastern Europe as a result of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. The various e-commerce companies are feeling the pinch of economic obstacles erected by the US as well as the other countries, and they're getting out. Several CPG businesses, notably Nestle and even Coca-Cola, stopped shipping to Russia last week, and e-commerce transporters as well as delivery companies are following suit. UPS and FedEx are among two of the major corporations in the area to restrict services, with both announcing that deliveries to Russia are inbound and outbound cargo in Ukraine would indeed be halted. In addition, DHL, which is also a global logistics business, issued its statement, stopping all initial shipments to almost any nation. However, they are not the sole company suspending activities in the region affecting the e-commerce delivery process. Furthermore, AP Moller, Maersk, as well as MSC are also two major global shippers which have been expanding their operational e-commerce processes, have dropped container shipping routes into and out of Russia, essentially cutting the nation off from an international shipping system which is now steadily developed to fulfill e-commerce requests as well. E-commerce marketplaces have moved out of the country. Consider, for instance, eBay's decision to briefly halt sales to Russian as well as Ukrainian customers. Several e-commerce fulfillment providers such as Sendle said that all global deliveries to Russia and Belarus would be suspended. Any business that would ordinarily transport products to customers changes the calculus. Dan Veroni, who is the CEO of trade association at the consulting firm Potomac Core Consulting, told Modern Shipper, "For employers, life safety has been at the forefront of the priority list. People have always come first." So it's realistic to presume that businesses would not execute e-commerce shipments into any of these areas unless tensions cease. Amazon and Walmart, two of the world's top e-commerce merchants, would have no such impact on e-commerce sales in the area, as Amazon has yet to issue comments. As for Walmart, it actually has no business in Russia as it is. However, the consequences of the Russia-Ukraine crisis on e-commerce may not have been restricted to just that region. For one thing, the conflict is raising prices, which may slow the entire process of e-commerce shipments via distribution networks due to their high cost. Freight expenses had already risen rapidly over the previous year before the Russia-Ukraine crisis, and are now being passed on to customers in the form of higher prices, adding to the biggest inflation in 40 years. Fuel expenses have a significant role in this. Given Russia's role as a significant crude oil supplier, recent developments are likely to worsen what is already a difficult situation, according to Greg Healy, who is the executive vice president of the firm Savills, which deals in global real estate services. While global instability is often discussed, armed confrontation is not, Veroni remarked. With prices at 40-year highs and the effect of global supply chain problems from Ukraine, e-commerce shipments could be impacted somehow. The soaring price of power will be one manifestation of this influence. The financial effect of e-commerce would be evident, from delivery trucks to airplanes to shipment from one end of the planet to the other. Inflation, as well as rising gasoline prices, are believed to have an impact on e-commerce volumes in the US. This is because the USA is the country where the gig economy has become a major player in the fulfillment of online purchases. In addition, because ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft rely heavily on a fleet of drivers as well as vehicles, a striking rise in gas prices will indeed be passed on to drivers, and as a consequence, it is bound to reduce not only the size but also the efficiency of their fleets. This can be like on top of the pressures encountered by domestic carriers, who must deal with rising fuel prices for their van as well as truck fleets. Well, as with every war, the consequences of it would be felt all around the world, not only limited to Russia and Ukraine. And as we have seen, e-commerce interruptions are also felt not just in these two conflicting countries, but can be witnessed all around the world. So this is how e-commerce industry is being affected by the Russia-Ukraine war. Comment on what you think about the war situation and how it will affect you.